Before I start the story, I ask you to like the video and also subscribe so we can reach 1K subscribers for the new upcoming content, so I can bring exciting and entertaining material. The channel name is Movie Explainer Pro. The movie begins with a couple enjoying a boat trip together. They are cheerful and carefree, drinking heavily as they sail across the sea. But after drinking too much, they lose their sense of direction. Eventually, they reach a small island nearby and decide to stop there, hoping to find someone who can help them. The woman goes ashore and walks into the forest, searching for help, while her husband stays behind in the boat. Unfortunately, the man never follows her. The woman continues deeper into the woods until she discovers an old laboratory. She calls out for help, but no one answers. As she keeps walking, she suddenly hears a strange, terrifying scream. Realizing she's in danger, she starts running back toward the boat. But before she can make it, unknown creatures attack her. She struggles to fight back, but receives no help or rescue. The film then cuts to a group of young friends arriving on the same island for vacation. They don't know anything about the island's dark past. They reach a house that once belonged to their uncle and begin to explore it. While looking around, they find an old car that used to belong to a man named Sarah and his friend Knox. They try to call their other friends for help, but the power suddenly goes out. They attempt to fix the problem and go down into the basement, where they realize something is very wrong. This part of the house seems to have no sign of life. Knox uses his flashlight to guide them, and eventually, they manage to restore the electricity. Relieved, they celebrate with some drinks and laughter outside while relaxing. Lieb starts playfully shooting arrows with his bow, and they all joke around, until they notice a small dog staring at them from the shadows. They pick up the dog, but the woman in the group notices it's looking strangely at Knox. Knox becomes uneasy and tells his friends he doesn't trust the dog. Suddenly, the dog runs off into the forest. Sarah and her boyfriend go after it, trying to bring it back. Unfortunately, as they chase it, the dog attacks Sarah, biting her leg. Her boyfriend fights it off, injuring the dog, which then disappears into the dark forest. The team decided to take Sarah to the hospital so that the infection in her leg wouldn't spread. However, she insisted that she felt fine and didn't need to go. Sarah told the group to rest since their leave would end around 5 o'clock in the morning. Early the next day, June noticed Sarah walking in a strange way. When he approached and kissed her, she suddenly began biting his lips. June was shocked and frightened. When morning came, the group gathered for breakfast, but Sarah began eating everything wildly, without control. June told the others that he wanted to go hunting, and Mott and Nu joined him. Meanwhile, the rest of the group stayed behind to check on Sarah's condition. When they entered the nearby forest, they realized that no animals were living there, only dangerous creatures. While filming the woods, Nu suddenly saw hundreds of wild dogs surrounding him. He panicked and ran back to warn his friends, shouting that the forest was full of deadly dogs. Out of nowhere, the man they had seen at the beginning of the film appeared, but before he could speak, the dogs attacked and tore him apart. The three young people tried to escape toward the house, but the dogs were chasing them. They reached a nearby cabin, but one of the girls was bitten on the leg. To save her, June threw her through the window, but she fell and was caught by the dogs. The group began arguing, wondering why these dogs were attacking humans. Soon, the horrifying truth was revealed. Before visiting this island, the filmmakers had hired a company that specialized in training guide dogs for the blind. One of those dogs had become infected with a disease called rabies, and it spread to the rest of them, turning them all into man-eating beasts. Later, as they were hiding in the house, the dogs broke the window. One of them attacked, but Nu fought back fiercely. As the scene ended, Sarah appeared again, her eyes empty, her face pale, staring at them through the shattered glass. The entire group decided to leave the island, realizing how dangerous it had become. When they stepped outside, they noticed dogs gathered near the plane, blocking their escape. So they decided to wait until it was safe to approach. June moved cautiously toward the aircraft, hoping to start it, but to his horror, the dogs were still sitting on top of the plane. As soon as they saw him, they charged toward him, and June ran back to warn the others. The team quickly barricaded themselves inside the house, while the dogs surrounded it from outside. They began reinforcing the broken windows and doors, preparing for another attack. The group agreed to find the man they had seen earlier in the film, the one who might have answers. Before leaving, They searched through the laboratory nearby, hoping to find something to defend themselves with. They discovered they needed a vehicle to escape. Unfortunately, more dogs were waiting outside. Using a rope that connected the house to the garage, they decided to cross. As Sarah climbed across the rope, the dogs began barking and running toward her. When she reached the garage, she realized the car wouldn't start. Suddenly, the dogs burst into the garage, and Sarah ran upstairs, grabbing the rope again to return. But just then, the power went out. Inside the house, No volunteered to go down to the basement to fix the generator. When he reached the bottom, it was too late. He was attacked and eaten by the dogs. The remaining survivors could hear the terrifying sounds. Some of the dogs broke through the door, while others climbed onto the roof. Mott was bitten on the back, and the others hid in another room. When morning finally came, the survivors made it to the garage, where they managed to start one of the vehicles. One of them drove while the other tried to navigate. They sped away quickly, but the dogs chased after them. During the chase, a metal tool fell from the car, and one of the dogs leapt through the window, attacking. They fought back and managed to throw it out at last. They reached Sarah's house, but she refused to come outside, saying she felt very sick. Moments later, one of the infected dogs appeared and attacked again. June ran for his life. The remaining 3 survivors escaped as fast as they could, finally reaching the laboratory from the beginning of the movie. When they entered, they began to search the place carefully, hoping to uncover the truth about what had happened on the island. They soon discovered that the dogs had been used for secret experiments. June climbed up to the antenna tower to try and send a distress signal. Unfortunately, a fire broke out nearby, forcing him to climb down. As he tried to escape, the infected dogs attacked him, but luckily, his brother arrived just in time to save him. Meanwhile, more dogs broke into the building from the other side. Nikki quickly came up with a plan. She opened the gas valves and set up an explosion. Then she jumped into a vehicle, rescuing June and his brother just before the building went up in flames. The surviving members of the group raced toward the shore, with the dogs chasing closely behind. They managed to start the boat and push off into the water, barely escaping the island. But just when they thought it was over, one final infected dog was revealed hiding on the boat. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more terrifying stories.